Principle 4. Nothing is as it seems. Everything is opposite to what it really is. Nothing is real here except energy, vibration.
In the matrix.
This has nothing to do with skin color, shape or form. It is to do with power, inner power, our energy force, free will, fear, manipulation and lust. The custodian traps us and leads us to believe that we are, as people, not souls, need something to believe in, other than ourselves. Faction 1, we know all too well of the mainstream films that depict them as subordinates, having mindsets of low intelligence, slavery films that are not only repressive but regressive, cleverly engineered by the custodian through its own minions, black and white directors and producers, to ensure the minds of the colourful stays rooted in a sense of inferiority, whilst the other factions look on. I will call them Faction 2 for the sake of this section,
Keeping you stuck.
oblivious to the notion of the same plan being used on them, just in a different way. And in fact, even more sinister and dark.
In the matrix.
Faction 2, you have been brainwashed into feigning superiority, unconscious or otherwise, which derives from the scriptures written in the Bible stating, God so created man in his own image, in the image of God created he him. And, this is the sinister part, those with influence seized it as an opportunity to ensure that the accompanying artwork to be held in reverence was of a white God. An attachment. Hasn't anybody ever wondered, or even a little, who put that one up? I guess not. Now, on the strength of the artwork, Faction 2 being that you bear a resemblance to the sketched God, albeit deliberately set up that way, it had been used as an opportunity for you to be regarded as a superior race. What's even more dark is the majority believed it. There are no physical representations for God the Most High, because it is an energy, a vibration. Spirit has no colour. You can't just draw a picture and say it's God. Who the fuck does that? Creating visuals to represent a so-called Lord God that looks like them. There should never have been any factions in the first place. God created man in his own image, not one image. The truth always has to run concurrent to the lie in order to create balance. I guess that bit was left in for that reason, before they fucked about with the rest of it.
In the matrix.
The majority in those times and now enjoyed the conditioning of privilege so much, along with all the historical wickedness endured by the other faction, that somewhere along the way you lost your fucking minds. One of your lessons, Faction 2, is to see beyond the colour of skin. No one has privilege over another. An attachment. By believing superiority and privilege to be your truth, the awareness of your own creative power has been blocked, harnessed by the custodian. Our energy is the true currency here, whilst at the same time, Faction 1 has been conditioned to believe they are inferior, thus blocking their awareness of having any power at all. When in actual fact, your power has just been laying dormant.
In the matrix.
Faction 2. Your fear is in fact of your own denied power being reflected back at you through Faction 1. Instead of sensing it as that, you are choosing to experience Faction 1 as threatening. With that said, this is the very clever trick of the custodian. Your lesson here, Faction 1, is to realise, thus integrate, and remember that you are powerful beings, energy, who have been conditioned to believe you are the opposite. In truth, you are spirit housed in physical vessel. Your power will be brought into your existence if you become aware of self. The custodian knows power over all as pawns will be lost if we remember what we are. Its task is to ensure we don't. We, like pawns in a game of chess, the custodian entity has brilliantly manoeuvred us around the board, using your lack of self-awareness as the fuel to do it. Colour of skin is insignificant, not important. The measure and weight of the heart is. We are all part of the same creative power, albeit on different vibrations. Spirit has no colour, meaning, when we attack others, we are really attacking ourselves. Judgment is weighed by your intent, whether that be in a certain mindset or emotion. We have been deceived into believing in difference.
In the matrix.
In the program.